just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm.
It's good to see you back in town.
Good to see you too, Suki.
That is a fashion Penelope. Is that who I think it is? My goodness, it looks like it is. Big Bob Kelly. Wonder if Katie Brown knows it's bad. He left town because of Katie. Thought he'd never come back. I told you he would. Some say he didn't pine away out of love for her. Some didn't say it. I said it. I knew I heard it from a reliable source. It must be true. Whatever could he be doing back in Gunslinger Gulch? There's only one way to find out. Let's ask him. Well, if it's not Big Bob Kelly. That's a mighty fine outfit you got on.
Thank you, Miss Cole.
Seems you've been successful wherever you've been.
Guess you could say that. I worked on the speculation in Texas. We had some guns.
How nice. I bet you made lots and lots of money. Maybe even enough to support a wife.
Maybe.
Seen Katie Brown since you got back?
Wildcat Katie? Nope.
Oh, I bet she'd love to see you. Just the other day I heard her mention, wonder whatever happened to Big Bob Kelly. She sure did. I was there. I heard it too.
I always said you two had the sharpest stories in Gunslinger Gulch. So tell me, how Katie or Pa get by?
Not good. Not good. Sad situation.
She's not sick or hurt, is she?
No, nothing like that. It's the Browns' financial circumstances that ain't helping.
They still own their land?
Yes, but we hear that Thomas Teacher Man has been pressuring Jeremiah to sell. And he's gonna have to. If you don't strike oil soon.
I see. I reckon I might just take a ride out there and see for myself. Thank you for the information, lady.
Anytime. Tell him we send our regards.
Yeah, I will see.
Oh my, ain't he a handsome man? Got the best looking fellow in these parts, I'd say. He and Katie Brown make a perfect couple.
White man digging earth.
One white man to take machinery and leave here.
Over my dead body.
If you insist.
Hey, let's go over here. Hey, you pumpkins, get away from that cat.
Big Bob Kelly. You're a sign of sore eyes.
Jeremiah, are you all right? Watch out.
Tomahawk!
I think the old man moose out of here. Thanks, Big Bob. You saved my hide.
Who were those men? Haven't seen any warlike Indians in these parts for years.
They said they was spirits of the tribe they used to have at this land. They sent him to get off in it.
Sounds mighty suspicious to me.
Pa, was that you who was making all that noise? Oh.
Hi, Katie. It's been a while.
Bob, was that you making all that racket? You've got some nerve.
Hold on, gal. Big Bob here might have saved my life. We was attacked by Injuns.
Indians? Don't be ridiculous.
He's telling the truth, Katie. These aren't straws that fell out of your broom.
Arrows? But what?
We don't think we was attacked by a real Injun, son. We think it was a prank.
A prank? Well, it wasn't very funny. Y'all could have been hurt.
I'll give you two some alone time.
Where are you going, Pa?
Much obliged.
Where are you taking our chair?
I'm holding it out for you to sit on. Gentlemen do that for the ladies. I learned some manners while I was gone.
Gone where?
Texas. They got some high society folks in the cities there now. I learned some manners while I was gone back in a restaurant in Dallas.
Well, you must have done pretty well for yourself, Bob, if you could afford them fancy restaurants.
Sure did. Worked on a couple oil rigs where we hit some gushers. That black gold fairly shot out of the ground.
I'm really happy for you, Bob. But tell me something. If you did so well for yourself in Texas, then what are you doing back here?
I came back for something that's pretty important to me.
What could that be?
I think you know.
Bob.
Now let me just say my piece. I worked it out in my head all the way back here from Texas. I love you, Katie Brown. I guess I've loved you ever since I first laid eyes on you. Heck, you're the only female wildcat oiler driller I've ever met. You're tough and a fighter, and everyone knows you can be as orny as a mule. I like that in you, Katie Brown. It means you're strong, and I admire a woman who can stand up for herself. I think there's a sweet, gentle side to you too, Katie. And I know there's a lot of love in you for your pa, and I bet there's enough to share with the right fella too. I'd sure like to be that fella, Katie. Would you consider spending the rest of your life with me?
That's a mighty pretty speech, Bob. No one's ever said nice things like that to me before, and I'm honored you feel that way. But tell me something, Bob. If you felt that way all along, then why'd you take up and leave for Texas?
Because I couldn't ask you to marry me when I was broke. Texas is where the big money is, so that's where I went. And I did what I set out to do. Got me a decent grub steak. I got enough for us. Will you marry me?
Oh, Bob, I can't. Not now.
Why not? You love me, don't you?
Yes, I do, but I can't marry you.
Why in tarnation can't you?
For the same reason you couldn't ask me before. Pa and I are at rock bottom. This little piece of land is all we've got, and I never admitted to Pa, but I'm beginning to think it's worthless.
Sadie Polk and Prunella Perkins told me the situation you're in. That lawyer fella, Tremaine, has been pressuring you to sell.
My stars, what did those two old gossips do? Camp out at the border and attack you with news the moment you rode into sight?
Not quite, but they tracked me down pretty quick. The thing is, Katie, with my dough, we could tell Tremaine to go jump in a ditch.
I wish it was that simple, Bob, but I can't let you do that. It'd be like taking charity or something. You went out and brought something to bring to a marriage. Well, I have to have something too. I hope you can understand that.
All I want you is to bring yourself. That's plenty for me.
You said I was ornery. I can't deny it. Right or wrong, I'm prideful as well. I hope you can understand that.
You are the most exasperating woman. Your hard-headed stubbornness is going to drive me away, Katie Brown. And when you're alone with your pride, remember what you could have had. This.
Seems upset. Have a drink with him and see what you can find out. Saw shape? Slip him a knockout drug. Automatic admission for the rest of the night.
Evening, Thomas.
Oh, evening, man. Did you get all settled in that boarding house of yours?
Sure did. Mary Dalrymple offered to show me some of Gunslinger Gulch's nightlife.
Then you came to the right place. Go on and have a seat.
Turn down the left.
Flatter than a horn tone that's been run over by a stagecoach wheel.
What's in the hot CD into that manly chest?
Used to. Maybe. Before Katie broke it.
Here you go. Just holler if you want anything else. Thank you. Darn. I dropped my bracelet.
Well, I'll get it for you.
How you pretty if you take my hand, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolie.
Here you go.
Thank you. Here's to better days.
I'll drink to that.
Oh, Thomas, you are too lucky for me. Now, I reckon I better get home. Mabel, yeah, she's probably thrown my supper to the dogs by now. I hope so. That woman is the worst cook in the civilized world. You know, one time, I cracked a tooth on some of her dumplings.
Well, I see yours.
Your drink has gone to your head.
Do you ever notice people always say that? Your drink has gone to your head. No one ever says, your drink has gone to your feet.
I figure if I knew Big Bob.
Jeremiah! Hi!
You sound drunker than a skunk. I can't blame you. Katie loves you, boy. And I gotta give her a chance at happiness no matter what. I'm gonna go ask Mr. Tremaine if I can win back some of the money I owe.
Wait, Jeremiah, no.
Just sit back and tell us all shit. I was actually in trouble.
I'd like a chance to join you, Mr. Kitty.
I'll be right back, lady. Look, it's Big Bob Kelly. He's got his arm around some little girl.
They look awfully intimate.
He looks awfully inebriated. And look, there's Jeremiah Brown gambling again.
Poor Katie. A Pa who's a hopeless gambler and a Bo who's a low-down drunken two-timer. Wonder if Katie knows the sin and depredation they've sunk into.
I just don't know, but if she doesn't, I think it's our duty to tell her.
You're right, it's our duty.
We must ride our buggies down to her cabin today. What are you waiting for?
What about the cough syrup?
Things were looking darker than a mine shaft at midnight. And trust me, that's pretty dark. Thomas T. Tremaine.
Katie,
Come on,
I done something real bad.
we'll talk about it on the way home. Come on, Paul.
Big Bob, Whatever you say, Katie.
Katie? Where's Katie? You have to make so much noise.
I'll see who it is.
Hi, Katie.
Bob, did you get lost? Sasha Del Rio lives in the other direction.
Who have you been talking to? Never mind. I can guess. Can I come in?
Of course you can. Pour Bob a cup of coffee, Katie.
If you say so, Pa.
I sure could use some. Feels like there's little itty-bitty miners inside, working away with their pickaxes.
I'm surprised you can't hold your liquor, a sophisticated man about town like you. I mean, after sampling Dallas nightlife and all.
All I had was one little drink, and it was sarsaparilla at that. There must have been something wrong with it.
Well, Katie, I'm sorry about my game.
It's okay. I'm glad you both learned your lessons. I really am. No, Bob, but I can't let you work with us. I mean, we have no money to pay you.
Didn't you work on speculation in Texas?
Yeah, let me make you another offer. Take me off for 1% of whatever we get. That's how I worked out in Texas when we made so much money.
Sounds like a proper business offer to us.
Then it's a deal. If you can spare the time away from Miss Del Rio.
Katie, there's nothing between Sasha and me. You're the woman I love, and if I can save your homestead, I'm gonna do it.
Well, if you say so, Pa. Well, we're not gonna find oil sitting around here moping all day. I'm gonna cook us up a big breakfast, and then we're gonna work like we've never worked before.
Suddenly I got my appetite back. What'd you fix?
Hot cakes, fried and possum fat and vulture eggs.
Yum.
Yum. We won't have a fire to warm our backsides with.
Yeah.
Well, heck, we won't have to pack much. I never get a chance to play wood planks on this cabin floor.
If only we had more time.
Time. That's it. Maybe Tremaine will give us a couple more days, and then we can test the last few acres of land. It won't hurt to ask. Be right back.
Katie, wait. I know it's not going to do any good. Just at least let me come with you.
Remember, you said I was ornery and independent. And, I mean, it might as well be me who does the asking. It won't hurt.
She's wasting her breath. Thomas T. Tremaine wouldn't give a cup of water to a man dying of thirst. He foments me out of my land. God knows we want to get from her.
And that's why I got to go save her.
Big Bob, I'd be mighty relieved if you did. And I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you doing all this for us.
What else could I do? I love
Persuasion, Miss Brown, but I'm a businessman. And I extended your father's offer, and I have to extend all my other clients' offer.
Would that really be so bad, Mr. Tremaine? You're already the wealthiest man in Indian Territory. You can afford to be a little more generous to your fellow citizens. Just have a heart. Please give us a few more days.
It's hard to say no to such a pretty filly. In a couple days, we'll become a new state. I'm sorry, Miss Brown. No.
Isn't there anything I can do to change your mind?
Say, there's Katie Brown. Excuse us, Mr. Tremaine, but me and Pernilla would like to be the first to congratulate Katie.
Yep, you're gonna get a new ma, Katie.
I'm what?
Your pa's Mitzi and Sookie Dart.
Have you lost your minds?
Just remember that you heard it from us. To Jeremiah and Sookie.
Here, here. Oops. We spilled some of our lemonade.
Oh dear, still we did. Let's get some more. I'm really getting a feel for this balloon stuff, even if it's only lemonade we're drinking.
Oh. And Katie, you better hope your pa keeps his health for a long, long time. I can't wait to see you in white. I don't think I've ever seen you clean before.
Be sure to wear a veil, a thick one. Then maybe the mayor won't recognize you.
What did they mean by that?
Who knows? They're acting crazier than rabid dogs.
You'll excuse me. There's something on the back of those playing cards. A 2 of diamonds, an ace of clubs. These cards have been marked. The acid in the lemonade must be bringing out the ink. Let me see that phony moniker you always use when you play cards. A king of hearts, a 4 of clubs. You You can see what every card of the deck is with this phony monocle of yours. You've been cheating to beat Paul at poker, you low-down skunk. Paul's IOU is worthless because you cheated to beat him. Wait till everyone at Gunslinger Gold hears about this. They'll tar and feather you.
I think not, Miss Brown. Seems an unfortunate situation has developed. You're coming with me.
Mayor Governor. News? What news? This 46th Indian Territory is going to become the 46th state. They've even picked out a name, Oklahoma.
The big blabbermouth?
Oklahoma. Oklahoma? Now, they can write a song about Kentucky. All Kentucky home. They can write a song about Virginia. Carry me back to old Virginia. But who in Sam's head is ever going to write a song about a state called Oklahoma?
So that's why you were so desperate to get our land. You knew that we were going to become a state soon, didn't you? And you knew that the value of our property was going to soar out of sight. Admit it!
You're a smart woman, Gator Brown. Too smart for your own good. I'm afraid you're coming with me.
Big Bob, I have some bad news for you. Katie Brown has ditched you and taken up with Thomas T. Tremaine.
That's ridiculous. She just came to talk with him. I'm sure you're...
She's telling the truth. But I'm available.
What's the post?
Come on. What's Katie got that I haven't got?
Everything.
Well!
Bob, let her go. Her and Thomas have done us both wrong. But we can console each other.
That's crazy. Katie loves you. Hey?
If you love him, get rid of him.
She's right, Bob. I've finally discovered that Thomas Tremaine is the man for me.
Yeah! Wow! Yeah! Yes! Oil! Extract oil! Rich! What in darnation?
When I was packing our belongings, I accidentally fired our rifle and the dirt pack. I accidentally fired our rifle into the ground.
Curses! Now everything's spoiled. I could have collected my deeds and got rid of you.
Katie, I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but it's time to quit. You and Jeremiah and I have got plans to make. Come on.
Hold it right there, Bob.
A gun! What's going on here?
What are you doing?
Get out of my way, Sashay.
My name is Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. Meantime, Mr. Mike surprised. Come up with a knife and cut off a piece of line. When I busted a chair right across the teeth and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging in the blood.
Just like the good old days, before things got so civilized around here.
That's some mighty fine uppercut you've got there.
I guess they don't call me Wildcat Katie for nothing. I take after my pa.
I'll march Thomas and his star excuse for getting right down to the sheriff's office.
Once he tells you his story, I'll come down and tell you the truth.
What happened? We win?
Don't worry. I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, exciting. Would you care for a little refreshment?
Don't mind if I do.
Boy, what a story. A prominent lawyer exposed as thief and attempted murder. Miss Brown, I'd like a quote. Sure, I've got lots of those I can tell you. Thanks, I'll be back. Before anyone says another word, Pa, I want to know what Sadie Polk and Pernilla Perkins were talking about when they told me you and Sookie Doc were getting married.
Where did you get an idea like that from?
Don't pay no attention to him. That's just a harebrained matchmaking notion they come up with.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, Katie, if your pa is the drug good as he thinks it is, you're going to be pretty rich. I guess we're going to have to get married now. Protect ourselves from hunters and frontier.
I reckon you're right, Bob. I guess people will have to start calling me Wildcat Katie Kelly.
I reckon, if I don't take you down a bit.
And that's the story of Wildcat Katie Brown.
But after that point, it'd be the story of Wildcat Katie Kelly. Yeah, they got hitched all right and got rich too. They tore down the cabin, put up an oil rig, and built 2 fine houses on the spread. One for Katie and Bob and one for Jeremiah. And me. Like Katie, I had something to bring to my marriage too. I struck a vein of gold that might need to put my eyes out. As you can see, nothing changed me none. Only thing different about me is my name. Sookie Rich Doc Brown. Kind of makes me sound like a hunk of fudge, don't it? See ya.
I'll show you the bad girl and bad boy. And now for Big Bob Kelly and Katie Brown. And let me have my tech crew. Ben Easton filled in at the last minute. He wasn't supposed to run lights, but he did. And Rachel, now come on up, tech crew. Grace, come